next step. Bookkeeping and tax, Brother Juan Coaching. Good to be online today. I wanted to just continue my promise to go live more in the month of December. And today is December 28th. So we've got a few more days in this month that I can continue to hold true to that promise. It's a promise to you, maybe a personal challenge for myself. Nevertheless, here I am. Today, I want to talk about 1099Ks. 1099Ks. It has been the talk for a lot of this year. 1099Ks are informational returns issued by third party processors. It's a way for the IRS to track income of individuals to make sure that they collect taxes on those income. And so one of the things that have been implemented this year was reducing the threshold in which a 1099K is issued or the information is reported from $20,000 in a minimum of 200 transactions down to $600. And so last week, the IRS announced that it was going to postpone the implementation of that requirement for third-party processors to report that information. However, this is the end of 2022. So third-party processors more than likely have already updated their systems to report the information. So whether or not they choose to report it is going to be up to them. But the IRS has removed the requirement, which doesn't necessarily mean that they won't report it. So for many of us, we won't know until we get that 1099K. Well, today the IRS updated its frequently asked questions. And so I believe there's a link with this video. I put the information in there. Hopefully the link came through. If not, you can search for the fact sheet online. Just kind of skim through it. It is 13 pages long. And I'm sorry, I just didn't want to read through the whole thing. But if you are a business owner, this really shouldn't be a concern to you because you should be tracking your income anyway, right? And so the answer to why it shouldn't affect you, it comes down to bookkeeping. If you're tracking your income, it's not going to make a hill of beans to you. If you're not tracking your income, or if you're not reporting all your income, then it's definitely going to affect you. But one thing, looking through the fact sheet, that I guess has caused confusion is that it not only pertains to business owners, but it can pertain to personal transactions as well. Now, if you sell something, whether it's Cash App and you're not a business owner, you don't have Cash App commercial or business Cash App, then you can still get a 1099K. And so the issue has always been having a distinction between maybe a personal reimbursement or sending cash to a relative in actual payment of goods and services. So that's been the issue. Hopefully, what is going to happen is a way to track that. If not, even though, again, the IRS is not requiring it, it can still happen. So don't be totally surprised if you happen to get one. And then, of course, your tax professional can guide you through how to deal with it. But if you are, of course, a business owner and you receive one, then you should be reporting that income anyway, and it shouldn't matter. So again, it kind of goes to what I always talk about, I always preach about, is bookkeeping. It's bookkeeping. And so I've been dealing with tax planning software, and I feel like I've gone back to school learning how to use this software. So it's definitely been a challenge. But one thing I definitely realize is that challenges come. And one thing I'm doing is trying to add tax planning to my services for those clients who are paying a lot in income taxes, and a lot is relative. Right? What's a lot to you may not be a lot to others, but um, again, it's relative. And so I kind of feel a little drained today, like I've been back at school, but I'm constantly trying to increase my knowledge, better myself, so I can better serve you. And again, that brings me to the last thing I want to talk about before I get offline as we transition into 2023. And for those of you who don't know, in the year 2023, I am on a mission to help 100 entrepreneurs in their journey. 100 was a number I pulled out the air. I don't know if it's obtainable. I don't know if it's out of reach. I don't know if it's something I'm just going to accomplish. I haven't even decided how I'm going to count. So that is the number. It's a good number, and it will help me move forward even beyond 2023, um, to let me know what I should reach for, because I want to make an impact in the lives of entrepreneurs, of course, with the services that I provide. But even beyond that, even if you don't use my services, I want to be able to make an impact in your business, in your life, ultimately for the glory of God. And so on January 23rd, 2023, the first workshop, my first workshop, is being put on the calendars, the profit planning workshop. And as I talked about last time, I went live. I consider doing this in October. I set a date in December to do it. Life happens, time flies by, and next thing you know, December was here and I was not prepared. So I had to debate, whether or not to hold it between, actually this week, between Christmas and New Year's. Said a lot of people only spending time with their family. I'm not going to do that. I wanted to do it before the end of the year and kind of, meditated, prayed about it, and decided, what, if I do it in 2023, that gives many entrepreneurs the opportunity to get their profit and loss statements together for 2022. And for those who take the upgrade to this workshop, and submit your profit and loss statements for me to analyze, it would be a greater impact on you and your business. And so there's a few things that we want to cover. And then those of you who actually register for the workshop, between now and the start of the workshop, you'll receive an email where I'm going to ask you, what do you expect? What do you hope to gain, so that I can address what is personal to you, right? And so I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm not looking for all 50 seats to be filled. And so I anticipate a small number, and I am perfectly happy with a small, intimate number of entrepreneurs for this first workshop. And so that gives you access to me in such a way that you won't normally have. And so again, if you're on my email list, you got an email this morning with a coupon that's going to be the best rate available for the workshop. Um, there are there's 10 special um, registration prices for those who act fast. I haven't checked to see if anybody's registered, but nevertheless, the first 10 seats are at a reduced rate. And so I encourage you to do that. And again, the profit planning workshop itself is going to be held January 10th. It's on a Tuesday evening. If you can be there live, great. If you can't, you'll have access to the recording. If you're there live, you're going to have access to the recording. And then the upgrade is going to be that following Thursday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m. So for Tuesday, I blocked out 2 hours of time. If we go over, I'm not worried about it. If we cover it within 2 hours or less, I'm not worried about it. I want to make sure I get through the material and have the material that interests you, And again, this is like my launching pad for 2023 to fulfill the mission of helping 100 entrepreneurs along in their journey. And I would love for you to be one. So again, I encourage you to visit next step bktax.com, or you can visit brotherjuan.me. If you, no matter where you're watching this video, if you go to the profile page, there is going to be a link there for either Brother Juan or Next Step, and you can go right to that page. You may have to scroll just a little bit to see the profit planning workshop banner. Click on it, and you can go ahead and go through the registration process. So again, with the 1099Ks, the IRS has removed the requirement for third-party processors, Cash App, Venmo, Square, Stripe, PayPal. The IRS has removed the requirement for them to report that information to the IRS at that $600 threshold. But again, I'm just so you don't get caught off guard. They've been preparing for it all year. And so for the IRS to do that at the end of the year, some payment processors may still go ahead and submit those informational returns, which means that you want to make sure that you report that income. But as I said, if you're doing your bookkeeping, right, you're already reporting the income, so it shouldn't be a problem. But this is Brother Juan. Y'all have a good day. If you have any questions later, feel free to reach out to me in my inbox, comment on this video. I will see it. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Y'all have a blessed day, and you'll see me again before the end of this month and this year. And so, again, let's get ready to continue to build upon what we have already built upon in our business for the glory of God. And y'all have a good evening.